So just before I take the seat into the van and try it for the first time, I wanted to show you this. I've added a 36mm piece of ply to the back with another bit of piano hinge, so that I can screw down through this into that backboard, and then that will keep my seat in place. When it's up like that. So let's go try it in the van. Well, I know it's only been a few seconds since the last clip ended, but it's been about 3 days for me, so I've had plenty of time to cogitate on the situation and come up with a solution to the support. And here's my solution. So here we are in bed position, and I want to change to seat position. So over the far side I've put a little luggage clasp, so that when I've got it in the right place I can lock it down. So that'll stop the seat from sliding out, and it'll also hopefully stop any banging that might occur as I'm driving along. As for the seat support, remember one of my requirements was that it all fold up out the way. So what I've done is install a little flap, again with a bit of piano hinge, so that when I fold it down, it almost self-deploys, and then I can lock it down over here with my little clasp, and I'm good. I'm hoping I don't need to add an additional support in the middle. It's not going to be in constant use, so I think the 18mm will be sufficient, but who knows, time will tell. So I have two more issues to deal with. One, I need to be able to secure it in place when it's folded up out the way, and I want to bring my bike in or carry some sheet goods. And the other, I need to provide support for these two pieces at this end when it's in the bed position. So I think I'm going to deal with the folded up out the way scenario first, and the idea is I'm going to pack out some ply against this side pillar here that will come flush with these three pieces, and then I can have a fold down clasp that will keep the seat nicely back tight against the pillar and against the back of the seats. So I've decided to scribe these filler pieces in just to make it look really nice. I've got a piece of waste ply clamped to the back of the seat, and I've got a piece of waste wood and a pencil, naturally. if I slide this behind in the place it's going to be, doesn't look quite so nice now. Got this nasty little gap there, which I don't like. So I'm going to cut it again. There, that's a much better fit. Happy with that. So now I can just draw a line up the side of the seat back, cut it down, give it a little sand, maybe a little round over, and then I can use these two bolt holes to secure that first piece in place. And it also looks as if the second piece is going to be the same profile. So I use this as a template to mark on the second piece before I secure the first in place. So my first piece is securely fastened now. My second piece is ready to be fixed. However, thinking ahead, unusual for me, I want to fit a little locking mechanism. So what I've come up with is I'm going to take one more piece, slightly smaller, plant on the front. I'll beautify it somehow, naturally, and then I'm going to take a small piece to act as my locking bar, and I'll secure it with this knurled knob, which means I'm going to have to fit a captive nut in the back. So I'll cut a piece, this is the piece I'm going to use, I'll cut that to length, work out where I'm going to put the nut to, drill the relative holes, and then we'll look to screw it in place. So here's my assembly. That's the second piece that fits on top of the piece that's currently secured to the door pillar, and then that recess there is to allow for the flange on the back of the captive nut. That piece sits on top, so I'm going to screw this piece to the piece that's on the door pillar, and those screws will be covered underneath this piece, and then that is my locking bar, and I tighten it down with that little knob. And here's the finished locking assembly with the seat down in the seat position. It's all but hidden from view. And when I pick the seat up and push it back, I can pull that little lever out, lock the knob, and it's lovely and firmly kept in place. So my last job is support for the seat when it's a bed. That makes sense, or support for the bed when it's not a seat. And for this I'm going to take a very similar approach to this support. So I'm going to have two boards hinged here so that they'll fold out, and then the second board will fold out again underneath for those few times that I need it to be a bed. And here's the finished article. So just to talk you through the support board for when it's in the seat position, I've decided to keep that in place using some magnets and a strip of sticky back neoprene on the back of that panel so the magnets don't smash together. My little locking mechanism, I just slide out of the way, bring my seat down, slide it forwards, and lock my wee clasp. And I'm in seat position, and this is where it'll travel most of the time, I'm thinking. And finally, on the odd occasion I'm in desperate need of an emergency snooze, unlock my clasp, slide the seat forward, and then I've got another sliding panel that goes underneath, and then I can have a much needed snooze. How cute am I? So, what about some cushions? Well, it just so happens they've arrived. All I need now is some grapes and cheese. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this slightly different video, Antics in the Van. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time back in the workshop. Ta-ra!